Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to dotEXE, a saving content podcast. For today's episode 37, we have our opening host, me, Eric Acosta. Hello, me. Our second host for this evening's festivities is saving content's own Ed Acosta.
Woo! Woo! He's the goat!
Smells like a goat. And coming in at third on the death charts is Kegan Acosta.
Oh, I thought we were going. Okay, I didn't realize it was me next. Hello.
Read the show notes, you'd know. And our headliner for the show today is Genevieve Acosta.
Hi.
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Crickets.
Thank you all for coming and enjoy today's concert.
What?
Huh? Concert?
Here we are.
Nutcracker.
That's already past Kegan.
I know.
That is true. That is something. We'll talk about that. All right. So, again, yes, thank you all for listening to today's episode 37. We are going to do some catch up because we have been off for holiday. And as the kids said, Nutcracker. I am editing Nutcracker. So that's a thing. So let's do some game catch up. Ed, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Sure. So, last time we were here, I was talking about Pokémon Violet. Played more of that. Pretty much, I've beaten the game. So I'm just going through kind of completing the Pokédex and still enjoying my time in that world. It may not run the best, but its shortcomings are not anything that. What's the best way to put it? It doesn't really affect the overall game per se. So I may run into an area where there's a lot of slowdowns, or I may run into an area where it's not glitchy, but they purposely lower texture resolutions and lower polygon counts and everything to keep the thing running on a Switch. So there are some areas you run into that and it's fine. I don't mind it. It doesn't detract from the actual enjoyment the game is giving.
Right.
So making my way through, getting all that done. Also played a little bit of the Drug Wars expansion in GTA Online, and that is something. I don't know. It's not really good, but it's not terrible. It's not something I would expect them to be like, oh, this is our big end of year content sort of thing. This is something that probably should have been just peppered in throughout the year. It's a few missions, a few new vehicles. Now you can get it's a gun truck. It's a truck that drives around the city, kind of like an ice cream truck. So it's like a portable ammunition. Other than that, it's still pretty much the same. There's no additional heists or anything to, whet the appetite and keep you coming back to playing. So once we get through all of the Drug Wars, I'm sure we'll go back into all the different heists and just playing GT Online when there's nothing else to play.
Wow.
On top of those, I have also gotten back into Destiny 2, as has Eric, and
And
part of
Yeah.
and Kegan, yes, and Genevieve still working on creating her character.
Nope. I'm not.
I know what you're talking about. We got a warlock hunter over here.
Yeah.
no Titan.
Just
No
no.
Titans.
Destiny 2 is still very good. Like the core gameplay of Destiny is still very good. Still very fun. Still enjoyable to just run around and shooting all the different aliens.
Pew pew.
It is quite confusing trying to figure out if you want to go in order of release, it is very confusing on what needs to be done first. And they don't do anything to help with that either. You have to go look outside of the game to find out, okay, what is the first thing that I could do currently, because they still vault a lot of content. And right now it's Shadowkeep. But when you get into the game, you'll see like some of the first missions for Shadowkeep, but then that's it. You kind of either got to know that the mission that you're going to do next after that is Shadowkeep, or it's part of something else, because they don't tell you. Like, there's going to be maybe icons, shows you what the different missions are, but they're tailored to whatever seasonal content that particular mission set is from, like whatever season for that DLC. And they don't say what it is. It just gives you the name of the mission.
Yeah.
Why don't you
And
tell
an
me the
icon.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
why don't you just tell me the name of the season, and then underneath that, the name of the DLC it's for? Then I know. So it's like, oh, okay, don't do this mission yet because I'm trying to finish all the Shadowkeep stuff first. Oh, don't do this mission because this is the one that's in between Shadowkeep and the current one. So they do a terrible job of on-ramping a new or a returning player if you haven't played in a while.
New. I don't know about new. I mean, it's not great with new, but I think it's a little easier with new. I think on ramping, becoming, someone returning is probably worse, in my opinion, because you've gotten so far, but now you've got to dig through and figure out where you left off, and it doesn't tell you anything about where you left off. Like a new player, at least, is like they have
Fresh
no
slate.
right.
Yeah,
They have no previous. Now it's still not easy by any means
But
to like
all
come
the
up.
same,
But, like-
all the same things that I just mentioned still plague a new player because they don't tell you what you need to do next. So a returning player, regardless, just think of it as both players, the returning and the new player, as starting from zero,
Yeah.
story-wise.
Well,
Other
that's it.
than, like,
Essentially,
you know,
the returning player has to start from zero. But like with me, it wasn't just zero. It was, where is my zero? Like, what is zero? Because I've already played this. I've already done this. This is the
Right.
story that I know. And the problem I have is kind of like what you're saying, but it's like you get in and I'm like, okay, I know the story up to here.
right.
The story starts, like this one starts over here. This mission starts here. That starts here. Where is this next iteration from where I left off? Whereas a
Right.
new player is more, again, it's still not easy by any means.
But I wouldn't say that the new player has it slightly less annoying than a current player. I will die on this hill that both of them have the exact same amount of frustration, because
I will die on the
regardless-
opposite hill.
regardless of what content they have, they do not know what's next.
Yeah, it's just bad either way. It really is. I'm gonna die on the other way and say that it's easier for new people, but either way, it's not easy. It's just hard to. It's hard to catch up is the thing, and we've talked about that. It's hard to catch up, and Bungie is definitely trying to build or has built this game off of FOMO. They want you to fear missing out these seasons.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's part of their whole, that's why they vault. They'll sit there and say, oh, it's because, we can't really incorporate all these different weapons and balancing and storage space and everything. They absolutely could. But, cynically, that is to build, like you said, that fear of missing out. So you got to come in, you got to spend your money right now. Otherwise, you might not get it back again for a long while.
Or ever.
Yeah. Which is sad because, again, the game is absolutely a blast to play.
Especially when you know what you're doing.
Yes, very much so. And then really the only other thing is kind of going along with our topic for today, which I'll save for when we get to it.
Yes. So I'll go ahead and I'll do mine next because I got the next shorter list. So kind of like Ed, obviously been playing Destiny 2. It's a great game. It's a fun game to play. They did very well. Bungie did very well. Played up. has been like a staple in this house. Like literally, it's a get home from school, play a round or two of Played Up, go to dance, get home from dance. Do we have time to play Played Up? Yeah, sure, we can play a round or two. Like,
Yeah, sure.
it's been a staple in this house. We just checked it. Des has 202 hours in
It's a
Played Up.
lot of time.
Probably about another hour or so because we just played a few hours ago.
I'll say
Yeah.
more than an hour. That we played most of the morning.
Yeah, I mean at 202. When I saw it as 202, I'm pretty sure it was around like 3-ish.
Well, think of it this way: I got up at probably 8, 9 o'clock this morning, and hopped on, and you guys weren't that far behind, and then we started playing Played Up. So
Around 9 is when, around 9:30 is when we started playing Played Up.
They've been playing for a while, long and short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a fun game. It's just fun to get into, and it's one of those. It is a roguelite or roguelike, whatever the two is. But it's not. You don't feel like you're starting from square one when you lose.
Hmm.
yeah,
That's what.
Especially with some mods.
Oh yeah, yes. We've got so Played Up now has mods in Steam. We just go to the workshop and you add mods. So like, you can phase through walls during the prep stage. So not during the actual delivery, the game part of it, but when you're like prepping up your kitchen, so you don't have to play like freaking Tetris or whatever. And some other like the mods that we got were did not affect the game much. The only thing that really, it kind of like quality of life game things. The only thing that really affected gameplay was the dash.
Oh sure.
But honestly, that should have been in it out on the onset.
Hmm.
Other than that, Played Up and Destiny and the game that we're going to be talking about soon. I got back into Pokemon Fire Red to try and get my hundreds. I am currently at. Can anyone guess?
Too many.
Too many. Well,
Most
it's
of your
on.
life spent.
Yeah.
Guess without looking at the.
Yeah, I was saying guess without
I've
looking
already
at
looked,
the.
I already looked at it on accident.
All right, well then, okay, well it's 41. I have
41.
Yep, 41 at level 100.
I'd spent half the life in this house spent trying to grind up 100 Pokemon to level, or
I mean, if I had to
however
do
many
it at
Pokemon to-
if I had to do it at normal speed, yeah, I don't think I would have been able to get that. But I have at a much faster speed.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm up to all of them from 1 to 22, which is Firo at level 100.
Wow.
Yep. And then I've got a bunch of the fully evolved versions up to 100 because, you have to give the ones that aren't evolved the Everstone so they don't evolve. So I don't have to keep pressing B every time they level up.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there. Almost there. The goal is all of the originals.
Making your way.
Making my way down. Trying to level up all my Pokemon.
That did not work very well.
Wasting
I didn't
most
say
of
it was
your
going
life
to.
for this.
Wasting most of my life.
That's
I'm
gonna
an
be a whole
adult.
ordeal to make, okay?
Listen, I'm an adult. That's not wasting my life. I'm married. I have kids. I've got a job. I'm not. My career. My career is plateauing, and at a few more years, later down the line, it'll start going down. Your guys, if you were to do this, would be wasting your life because then you have no way of going up. Right? You're using the
Yeah.
time that you could be evolving to do something.
Yeah, you guys got to go get good jobs so that you can pay for your parents.
Yeah, pay for me to waste my time. I don't understand. I don't see what the issue is here.
McDonald's?
McDonald's. Wait, you're gonna buy McDonald's?
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You're paying for it.
No. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You're paying for it. That's perfect.
That fits.
That
Oi.
should be their slogan.
Yeah.
Totally.
But other than that, that's what I've been. That's all I have been doing this holiday weekend, and doing diamond paintings,
Oh,
like
yes.
basically bedazzling.
Yeah.
So
Like-
Keegan, oh, what were you gonna say?
No, to say, do you want to explain what that is technically? I don't know if
Oh.
everybody kind of knows what that is.
Okay, so diamond painting. I don't know if you know what like rhinestone. People know what rhinestoning is or bedazzling, but basically, it's there's a image that you get on like a canvas-esque kind of paper, which then has a sticky glue on top of it, and you just put these plastic diamond rhinestones
Like,
onto the
like-
paper, and it's different colors.
Yeah, it's like
And it's like
beads.
yeah,
kind of.
it's paint. It's basically paint by numbers, but with plastic beads that
Yeah.
are flat on one side and kind of faceted on the other.
Yeah.
And are like sand.
No, not at all
Or
like
glitter
sand. What?
more.
Nope, not
glitter.
like glitter either. They're like rhinestones.
They get all over the place.
Yeah, but they're not like fine. They're not super small.
I don't know what you're talking about, Keegan. I don't understand.
Anyway, Keegan, what have you been into?
So I have been recently playing a game called Skul the Hero Slayer, which I do not know how old it is,
Okay.
but I
Where are you
have.
playing it on?
I'm playing on Steam. I think it's available for PlayStation and Switch. Don't quote me on
Ye-
that, but
Okay.
I think PlayStation and Switch also have it.
No quotes.
So I've managed to beat the game once, and then I beat the game once. Didn't really try to attempt anymore after that. Then an special update came out of a beta for another update that's coming out,
Okay.
and now that update's finally out. So I've been working on getting back to where I was in the beta, which is the mirror world, which is essentially hard mode, to level 2.
So what type of game is it?
It's a roguelike, like how Played Up is a roguelike.
Well, I guess
But-
like you say roguelike, but like what combat is it? Like a side scrolling 3D? Is it 2D? Is it over the shoulder?
It's like a 2D pixel art kind of roguelike.
Okay.
It's kind of like if you can think of Dead Cells, but with a more like art cutesy skeleton art style,
Okay, that's
and probably a little more
descriptive.
fast. I'd say there's a lot more happening in Skull, at least visual wise, than Dead Cells.
Oh,
Dead
really?
Cells is a little bit slower paced, at least like with the animations and combat and movement and stuff. But with Skull, you're like a little pea against multiple enemies that are triple the times your size. So you're constantly having to run around and dodge a lot of attacks. And half
Okay.
the time, I can't see.
Is that because of the art style in the game, or is it actually too far out from where your character is at on the screen?
No, it's probably typically it's from the amount of like effects happening on the screen. So like I'll be using
Oh.
a skill, and then the boss will be using a skill, and then I'll have a passive that's activating, and then I'll have like an active ability that is activated because of something I did like a few seconds later, and like things start to kind of cover up other things, and that's typically how I die. I just can't see some things, and I'm not paying attention to it. 'Cause I'll
Okay.
be paying attention to one thing, and then the other thing will come in and kill me.
Huh. That's great.
Yeah, that sounds not
Yeah.
good.
I
But
mean,
the
you're enjoying it?
yeah, I'm finding it really fun. The main mechanic of the game is that you can, as you play through the game, you can get these skulls, as the name is, and you can switch your skull with skulls you find in the world, and they
Okay.
each have like their own little skill sets and their own like pros and cons to them, basically. So like you always start off with the skull with one L, by the way. And you can pick up skulls like the wolf skull, which can be upgraded 4 times to become. Actually, wait, I don't know. I didn't get that far with that one. Or you can get very lucky and get like a legendary skull, which is the Grim Reaper, which I got in my most recent run.
Okay.
But
And what does that skull do for you?
so the skull, it has like a different basic attack, and then depending on the rarity of the skull, it can have 1 or 2 skills, which can range from like become water and just kind of ride across the floor for a little bit to like uh throw out a bunch of dice which have a chance of raining arrows from the sky. It all
Oh,
depends on what skull you're using.
okay.
And you can as you find skulls, you can actually destroy skulls to then get bone fragments. And after every like mini boss or boss, you can talk to the spider lady to increase the rarity of the skull, basically making it better. And once it hits unique, then you get another skill if it was common or rare. And you can
Hmm.
carry up to 2 skulls at a time and be able to switch between the two mid game.
Huh. All right.
That's cool. Well,
Now,
Yeah.
is it only just? Is it only your character, like a story character, or do you get to customize, make your own type of
No, sadly,
ordeal?
there's no like customization things like that. But
no.
the general story that I've pieced together is you are the first hero. That's his actual name. The first hero's son that was killed, brought back to life as a skeleton, and now the you're helping the witch queen. No, not witch queen. The witch and a bunch
Who
of
You're
happens
mixing.
to be a queen?
You're
no,
mixing
it's just
destiny here.
witch. Yeah, wrong one. But you're helping the witch. I think it's the dark witch, but I don't remember the full name for that. But witch and some other NPCs to save the demon king from the first hero. And there's this like dark gem that has been plaguing that it seems to be plaguing like the human society. So you go through a bunch of different bosses which are using this power to try to take you down. Then you kill the first hero who isn't using this power, it looks like, but I guess some sort of influence something happened that caused him to be like monsters are bad. And you save the demon king, get back to the castle, and then you find the mirror world, which is the hard mode. And that's pretty much what if everything happened,
Okay.
but you never existed, essentially.
Oh, so one of those.
The dark
Here's the.
timeline.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Here's what it would be if you didn't do the things that you did, and now you got to go and set those events correct.
Pretty much, yeah. And the mirror world, you add some special items called omens
Okay.
and have more enemy types, and they have more like stronger variants of some enemies, which when you kill, you get dark hearts, I think that's what it's called. And you can
Hmm.
use those hearts after every major boss that go from one area to another to like get these special dark abilities. And the final boss actually does change up its second phase because of the crystals.
Okay.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
But usually I have found runs typically take an hour if you get all the way to the end, like an hour or so to finish.
I mean, that's a long run.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I found wanting to go back to Skull more than Risk of Rain. Because sometimes I'll run Risk of Rain a few times, like, oh, it's pretty fun. I'm gonna go do something else. But
Hmm.
sometimes I'll be doing something else, and out of nowhere, my mind's like, hey, let's go play Skull. but I'm in the middle of this. Sure, once you finish that, let's go play Skull. Okay. But
That's cool.
yeah, I like the game a lot, and I've been playing a lot.
I mean, it sounds like you're having a good time with it. If you were to rank this out of 10 games of the year, where would this place in your 2022 game
In
of the
my
year?
personal 2023, 2022 little list, I'd probably put it at like
Uh-huh.
okay, I gotta think of like other games I've played.
That's a great answer.
I'd say definitely my number one pick.
Okay.
Probably just behind that would be
Okay.
Dragonball FighterZ.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you really enjoyed the game, then, that's a good game.
All right. So anything else?
Should I continue down my list? I spent a long time on Skull.
Yeah, no, go down.
Jenny's got a bot.
Well, not go down your list.
I actually
You
really don't. I just forgot to take mine off from last week. Or the last time I was on.
Oh, that house is from last time.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had recently purchased this game called Doom. A very, very underground game. And,
Mhm.
not a lot of people know about it. But it's it's called Doom VFR. Virtual reality.
Okay.
And so far I've played it once. I played it like 2 days ago. But it's good. I like it.
That's
Well,
nice.
what makes it any different than regular Doom?
I can't really say much because I haven't really played Doom normally.
Okay,
So comparison, I can't say anything about it. But
from pictures and videos you may have seen online, how is the VR version any different than a first-person shooter that you're just playing normally on your computer screen? Why would somebody pick up Doom VFR rather than just Doom?
Doom.
I probably just the factor in VR, but it definitely feels a bit more like involving since you're not necessarily the Doomslayer. I think it was like you're someone who died, but his conscious was transferred to a robot body.
Oh,
You're not the Doomslayer, but
okay.
it's in the same world.
Oh, that's very different. Okay.
Yeah. But you pick up a bunch of pick up like I think pick up weapons.
Okay.
Like I'm like losing the words.
So, what are the words?
Tell me that. But, I liked it when I was playing. I definitely was a big fan of it. It was really weird because I couldn't like use any buttons to like hold shotguns or two-handed weapons with two hands. It's always your right one dominant hand.
Okay.
So you just one hand like a pump shotgun or the super shotgun.
Oh.
Because apparently you've got arms like that.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, it felt a bit odd. I'm just like, this doesn't really make much sense, but okay, I'll roll with it, I guess.
Just like has a machine gun in one arm.
Yeah. That happens. You'll just be like, you do get him like a heavy chain gun near the beginning of the game. So,
Okay.
Oh.
one-handing it like, ting, 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 ting.
Now, in the modern Doom, they have this paper rock scissors mentality when it comes to your ammo and everything. Where doing a melee kill gives you like ammo or health or something. Doing a regular just shooting the enemy gives you one of the other things. And then if you were to do a special, it gives you the other refill of whatever you need for, like, I think your shield or something. Is Doom VFR doing something similar?
So, well, I found myself shooting a lot of enemies, but you can use like a telefrag, which is basically what they call the teleport in the
Uh-huh.
game for when you're moving around. And with those glory kills, that's you teleport into the enemy and they just explode with
Okay.
some, I think, like ammo that come out, ammo and like a health pack or so.
Okay.
But oddly enough, I have not found a melee that doesn't require a power up.
Hmm.
Like you can only shoot the enemies, demons, or blow them up with a grenade.
Oh.
Huh.
Unless you find the Berserker power up, which I think in normal Doom it just like you can only melee, but it's an insane melee buff or something. While with the VR, you feel like Hulk. Because
Okay.
so far I have punched so many things with that. Enough things with the Berserk, big, small, medium, they all just die in one hit.
I
Hmm.
mean, that's satisfying in Doom when things
Yeah.
can just go.
Especially the
Yes.
combination with the music. How you walk into a room and then the music, bah, da, 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 da,
Oh, yeah,
really
easily.
emphasizes the murder and the fast pacedness of it. That
Wow.
word.
That. Wow. That was
Ow.
something.
Something.
All right. Well, what else you got? Is that? I know you can play at least 2 more games, right?
Yep, at least 2. Just 2. So on the same day, I also played a little bit of Help Wanted. If anyone knows that is, 5 Nights at Freddy's, the VR port.
Oh, okay.
I got through one night. So they have in like they have 5 Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, 3. I think 3. 1, 2. No, they have 1, 2, Dark Room, which, parts and service, ventilation repair, and something else that I forget the name of.
Are this all like DLC or add-on content for the latest Five Nights at Freddy's, or is this like
That is the base. That is like when you get the game, that is the starter pack basically of what you get.
okay?
And there's another DLC which was basically for Halloween called Rise of Dreadbear.
So is this is this Friday Night with live service hooks built in?
No, no.
I mean, you make it sound like it is like there's all this additional content that is released throughout the year,
Well, this is an old
but
game.
there's a
I
base
don't know.
game.
No, the base game is Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, and all that stuff I was mentioning. That is the base game.
Okay,
Oh.
so it's
You
more of a
play-
compilation.
Yeah, you basically play those events in that first-person style with the whole VR thing.
Okay, so it's not the first games; it's the story of the first games.
Yeah. I've gotten
Huh.
through nights 1 through 3, I think. Yeah, 1 through 3 of FNAF 1. I skipped to the parts and service to repair Bonnie, Freddy, Foxy, and Chica, not in that order.
Okay,
And you can also do a nightmare mode of all of those different things.
Hmm.
And so I did that again with the parts and service in nightmare mode. Which honestly wasn't that bad.
That's
all
cool.
right. I guess nightmare mode is just it's easier to catch you, basically.
So with nightmare mode, one of each animatronic when you had to repair, at least for nightmare mode of that, there was a special thing about each of the uh animatronics that was unique in the nightmare mode. So for I don't remember anything astounding about Bonnie, but
Okay.
Chica, the lights could not see a thing. It was
Oh, it's really
no
dark.
lights. The only lights I could remember are her eyes and the pizza box because
Yeah.
pizza emanates light, obviously.
Oh yeah, obviously. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's science.
Yeah, just basic science. Then for Foxy, you have to put these little batteries into certain sockets on his body. Well, I think one he was on fire. Two, those batteries would sometimes like glitch out for a second and change to a different color because you have to match those colors up. So I guess that probably gets some people.
okay.
Then with Freddy, it's just everything has gone from color to like black and white. That I didn't really find too difficult. And then FNAF 1, and that is just FNAF 1 in virtual reality with look at cameras, look at door, is cheek is Bonnie on your left side, close the door. Is Cheek on your right side, close the door. Look
All
at
right, so
Freddy.
you're not actually in first person walking around for the first game at least.
For the first few, no, I don't think so.
It is
I mean-
it is a VR mode for those first
For those
couple
games. So
basically.
you're still
Yeah.
sitting down. Okay.
But you're not sitting down, you're standing.
Well, I mean, you're still in a room.
Yeah.
in a room, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have the space, but you are able to like look outside of the doors if need be.
Hmm.
So, if you ever needed to, you could like flash the light and take a quick look around the corner to see if Bonnie's like hiding in the corner.
Oh.
So you never know. Maybe cameras might not catch it.
That's cool.
Yep. And I guess I'll move on to the last game, which
Okay.
is Dragonball FighterZ. I spent way too much money on that game, and I bought
Okay.
it in one day.
Hey, it's your money. You chose what you want to do with it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, that was. I honestly
you gonna-
I wouldn't necessarily say I regret it, to be honest. But it was
Eh.
definitely not what I thought. I probably could have spent on something else and made more sense, and then
So
waited.
what-
But
So
Yeah.
what all did you buy for Dragon Ball then?
so I bought the base game, the 2 character packs,
Okay.
and I would have bought the 3rd character pack. But that's all 3 of those is $160.
It's a lot.
Oh my god.
I mean, for 3 different character packs, that you're basically paying $50 for each, and you're buying the whole game again. Again, if you want to think about it that way, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy because it's like base game's like $60. I think it's $60.
Sounds
And
right.
each pack was like 30,
Gosh.
and each character was $5 on their own.
What?
So I probably shouldn't specify that the character packs were 30 because it depended on how many characters were in said pack.
Ah.
There wasn't even like a deal on getting the pack. It just was the exact same amount of money if you were to buy each of the characters separately.
So they didn't throw a bone your way.
Yeah, they didn't like take $10 off if you bought them all at the same time or anything.
Well, that's
That's
because
sad.
companies do that because people will buy it. If you don't buy it, they will make packs. They will make discounts. They will do that kind of stuff because people aren't buying it at the price they are. But because enough people are buying it at the price that is, they're not going to make it any cheaper. Welcome to corporate.
Besides that, the game is really fun. Aside from the fact I dumped so much money on it, it is
Okay.
still a fun game. It's not like I regret entirely.
Okay. Well,
It's more of the question of, am I gonna use the character? 'Cause
Okay,
I
well,
bought the character because they look cool.
so it's a fighting game.
Yeah, Street
So,
Fighter-esque.
Other than just fighting other people, what else is there for you to do in the game? Is there like story mode? Is there like competition? Can you do online?
Yeah, there is a campaign.
Okay.
There are 3 sections of the campaign though. I have beaten the hero story, then there's a villain story, and then an android story. I have gotten through the hero story, and am currently working on the villain story, but I'll play like 2 levels of those and then be unmotivated to do the rest. And I'll just go to free play and start messing with some characters and just messing around.
Okay.
Okay.
Just kind of pass some time there, trying to.
Yeah.
I guess sounds like trying to find something to do in between, like when you get not bored, but when you've had your fill of whichever particular mode you're doing.
Right.
But it is to me that game is kind of like a time filler. Just like if I need something to do, it's something I'll whip out and just start playing. Since I have to fill up time while I'm thinking about what else I should try doing later on. But
All right.
yeah, so your cast involves a lot of the Dragon Ball Z characters with the insane powers and whatnot. Got Goku, Goku Super Saiyan, Goku Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue, Goku Ultra Instinct,
Okay.
Vegeta, which is Goku and Vegeta combined, Gogeta, which is Vegeta and Goku combined, Gogeta again,
Yeah,
which is
Genevieve, it's better that you not ask questions about the
I-
characters.
Yeah.
Dragon
I'm-
Ball has quite the
There-
lore.
Yeah,
then there's this
okay.
Goku Black, who is Zamasu, the god that wants to destroy everything, and him forcefully fusing with Goku. Then you've got
Forcefully,
Zamasu
okay.
fuse, which is Goku Black and Zamasu fusing, which makes no absolute sense because time shenanigans.
It was probably just done for the game, just so that it's like, oh, this would be cool. A what if sort of scenario.
Yeah. Oh no, that's canon. It's like because during Dragon Ball Super, the whole thing was like Goku has to fight Goku Black. Yeah, I don't even know. Most thing I remember is the Tournament of Power, which the whole Ultra Instinct and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of Gokus.
Yeah, that's it's the joke everybody makes.
Yeah. It's like I think if I'm counting right, there's 13 of them, but I can't remember them all.
I mean, it's a lot. It is a lot of Goku.
A lot of Gokus. You ask, you need a Goku. You've definitely got one to choose from. Got a whole selection.
A Goku that's right for you.
Yeah. This is something I thought of just now, but like it'd be interesting if they decided to have it so if you choose like base Goku, and then if you choose like base Goku or something, you can like go Super Saiyan and then go Super Saiyan Red, Super Saiyan Blue, that kind of concept.
Yeah, just
Good
kind
lord.
of have them all connect, like as if as they should.
Yeah.
Like you start from just Goku into Super Saiyan, to Super Saiyan 2, into all the way up until I don't even know what the highest level that Goku can reach. But
Currently mastered Ultra Instinct,
there you go.
but I don't know. at the
Just
moment.
saying words. You're just saying words.
I'm
You're
not-
just saying words.
but I feel like it makes sense when they did more of a Xenoverse, which with you can choose to do Goku Super Saiyan, but if you were to play as regular Super Saiyan, you could turn into Super Saiyan and go further with that.
I see.
What's weird? The weird thing, you have to buy Goku, but you start off with Goku Super Saiyan.
Oh, so regular Goku you don't get.
You have to
Why?
purchase Goku.
Was he added on later on? Is that how that came about? He wasn't in the game initially.
Maybe.
No, like the base cast was I'm not gonna list them all, but it was Goku Super Saiyan, Vegeta Super Saiyan, Cell, Frieza, Broly, the apparently uncanon Broly now.
Oh,
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying is
But
when the game came out, he wasn't available
as an
by
option, yeah.
default. Yeah.
So they had to add him in after as a DLC. But still, why
Which
did you put
that's
Super
kinda
Saiyan
silly.
first?
Well,
That's-
because it's
yeah.
it's the Goku people want to fight with.
True. But yeah, the gameplay is just about like Street Fighter, but I'd say more faster pace because you do actually have some like mid-air fights.
Now, this is an Arc System Works game, though, right?
I think
The
so.
guys who do Blaze Blue and I'm drawing a blank on the other one. But they are kind of the big deals when it comes to your anime fighters.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because it is not Street Fighter esque. It is its own thing, if that makes any sense. Like,
It's that fighting player genre, but like
yes,
it has its own style in a sense.
yes. Like, I wouldn't say that is very Street Fighter like the same way I wouldn't say that Mortal Kombat is like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
They're both fighting games, but
They have their own
They are
aspects
different.
that makes them unique.
yes.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
I understood like
fighting you
none
with
of
anime
that.
characters. Oh, don't worry, I just started spitballing random words. It works. After some time.
Most likely.
So, was that was on your list, right?
And a my list at least.
And your list. All right.
We still
Cool.
have one other one to go.
Well, yeah, Genevieve. So,
Anything-
what? Since you did not update your list, what have you been playing? This would be a surprise to all of us.
Probably not much of a surprise, but I've been playing like 4 different games.
Okay.
So, as you would think, played up, of course.
Of course. A good
Of
a good
course.
choice.
And since Dad already explained like everything about it, I don't really have to explain anything.
Okay.
I was playing word search. Word search. It's like literally an app, like a mobile app that's just word search.
Okay.
Yeah, that's still a game, yeah.
I mean, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with a word search, that's for sure.
And what is it called? The
That's a crazy game.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
an amazing
right?
one.
That's not the game name. That's not what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Just sell.
That's what you said.
Just why? Well, wait. I've been playing 5 games. 5.
Okay.
I played
What else you got?
this game called Tape It Up.
Tape it up.
Yeah, it's a mobile game, and it's like Subway Surfers, but not Subway Surfers.
Okay. So it's kind of Subway Surfers is like an endless runner, right?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
it's literally that like an endless runner, but like you have like a tape dispenser, and there's like packages that like you jump. There's like 3 columns that you can jump between, and like you don't go up or down like Subway Surfers. Like you go on top of trains or down. It's just one level, and then like you can go into like a box for like a secret mystery something. Like you get a bunch of coins, you get a rush or something like that. So like,
Rush.
and then like once you fall off the packages, that's like the end of your game. I like it. It's fun.
Oh yeah, a nice, fun little time waster of a game.
Mhm. I've been playing Kawaii Kitchen, which I've explained.
More
A lot.
Kawaii Kitchen.
Yes. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's
Uh huh.
No one,
Good.
yeah, no one says bad game. I mean, if you're having fun with it.
yeah. And then I've also been playing the game that we're going to talk about in our topic today. But there's one more thing I want to touch on.
Okay.
I learned how to knit yesterday from my grandma.
You did.
Ooh.
Hey.
And I'm happy.
So
Good.
how is that?
It was
How is
good.
knitting?
It's really easy, actually. I thought it was going to be harder.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming
That makes sense.
I'm assuming it's harder as you get to more difficult things.
Yeah. She just taught me a simple knitting. So, yeah.
Well, when you say simple knitting, like what was it? A certain pattern you were doing?
You do like one slip knot on one of the needles. It's not actually a
Okay.
needle, but it's like like those sticks.
Crochet needles, I think is what they're called.
Yeah, the little
Not
crochet
So,
stabby
sticks in the
sticks.
backyard.
yeah. Not the ones with the hooks, just like the straight ones.
Pokey stick.
Okay,
No, Kegan.
a stabby stick.
No. No. So you make a slip knot on one of those, and then you have to do something with your fingers, and you go around, up and over, and then make as many as you want to make it as long as you want. You go through a hole with your other stick, and then you take your yarn that comes out of the ball, and you wrap it around one of the sticks, and you bring it down, but not out of the hole, but only out of one of the holes.
Holy moly.
And then you
Okay.
slip it through that one, and you pull it off, and you just keep doing that.
Yeah, see, that sounds a lot harder when you explain it, but I'm sure that doing it is probably significantly easier.
It's much easier than explaining it.
Right.
So that's all I've been really doing. So,
All right.
yeah.
So, all right. So then here we go, talking about the
Mystery
game that we've all played, and this is our topic. So in general, our topic is basically rhythm song games. Those of you that are the age of me and Ed will understand probably and know what
The generalization.
the kind of epitome of that type of game is, and that would be what Rock Band, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Rock
Or
Band,
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero, Dance Dance Revolution.
Ah,
I mean,
DDR.
these
Yes.
are all rhythm games.
Right. And what kind of spurred this was that we were at over the holidays, went to my parents' house, and Ed had found, I guess you'd found the guitar and drums, right?
Yeah, all the equipment was there, and then I asked you if if the kids actually had played it. When they weren't 3 years old.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I've been trying to find a way, because I knew I actually thought both Kegan, you guys, both you and Genevieve would like that game. It's just I couldn't get I couldn't find where the drum and guitars were, and it was way too expensive to buy a new game or newish game and kit and everything like that. If you could find them. I mean, you can't find those things anywhere
That's
now.
the problem, is if you can find them.
And people are selling for hundreds to thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Because
They're old.
they don't make them anymore.
Right.
And the game requires these plastic instruments to play.
Uh-huh.
Right.
What if you just make it?
I mean, there's still, so with the Xbox, there was it wasn't just hardware. You plugged it in and there's software that registered. There's some software in the background that actually validates that it's a actual peripheral and all that stuff. So
Yeah. It's not as
Ah.
easy as just trying to, make your own board and
right.
trying to write your own code to it so that the Xbox recognizes it. It will not.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Aw.
there's kernels on there that keep it from registering. But we had both guitars, the drum set, and mic. And Kegan and Genevieve played it. So I'd like to hear your guys what you guys thought of it. Kegan, you wanna go first?
Sure. I guess I'll go first.
Hello?
I'll go first, I guess.
You there?
Yes. It was fun. I liked it.
What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, more than just it's fun.
It was graphically diverse. I don't know. It
Okay.
was a fun
So we're talking about
the gameplay.
we're
of
talking
it.
about the actual gameplay of being able to do this rhythm game with a big plastic instrument. You
Right.
don't get that nowadays. Everything is using a controller or a keyboard. They're big, funny peripherals for video games aren't as lucrative as they once were.
If-
So
Right. So we're kind of asking because it's such a right now it's one of those things where people the older generation looks on this fondly and then one that says stuff like, "Oh, I wish they had games like this," and then instantly come back to it and go, "Well, not really." And then now it's kind of like a blight
So-
that people have. Like it's just they don't. There's just stigma, I guess, to it.
So in regards to Mr. Kegan, I guess what I'm trying to lead him towards is comparison to other rhythm game that he plays a lot of. That is basically DDR for your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Keegan.
compared
Come on.
to this other game
Gonna
that
say it?
I've been playing that is very widely known, that has gotten a lot of mods to the point of having its own direct. It is definitely a different experience. It's not
Yeah.
using a keyboard; it's a full-on guitar to press the buttons, and then it's also not just pressing buttons, but you have to hit the have to strum on the note, so on beat.
Right. Well, so people at home understand what you're talking about. Which game am I trying to get you to
The
compare it
popular
to?
game known as Friday Night Funkin'. I think it's still popular.
There we go.
Yeah.
You're really trying to hammer home popularity into this.
They were both popular. at one point.
Are you trying? Is it? What I'm saying is, are you trying to say that, hey, I want people to make this popular, and it's not, or you just there's a lot of hammering. This is this popular game, this super awesome game. You could have just
mean,
said Friday Night Funkin'.
It is pretty popular, and it is very popular. It's got like I said,
It is. I mean, they make
Yeah.
they make
It started off
merchandise
as
for
a
it.
small
So I
indie
mean,
game
Yeah.
that someone made for a game jam, and now it's It's going to become this fully fledged game. I said.
Well, it is.
I say
It's
fully
not
fledged game. in the sense of,
become. It is. It's yeah.
compared to the most recent update, it's gonna be much more than what it started out as, because they're adding a lot of songs, a lot of characters, different mechanics, and they did a whole fundraiser a couple years ago, and they're still working on it because of how much they got, which I think was $1 or $2 million.
Whew. Well, we're just kind of comparing it because I know it's not exact. Now, if we had found the
That would've been
DDR
closer.
stuff, that would have been a little more
more 1-to-1.
one to
And,
one. Yeah.
Would you play Friday Night Funkin' if it required
I've
a dance?
I've always
match?
been interested in wanting to. I've always wanted to try DDR in that style, because yeah,
I mean, technically, you could do the dance mat because those dance mats you can make work as a standard controller,
Yeah.
and key
Yeah.
bindings
Now
on the
that's
PC.
Now that's a little different than the Rock Band and Guitar Hero guitars
Yeah.
and controllers. Is that those DDR pads? They were made, to work on PCs a lot of the times as well, unless it was like for the original PlayStation or
Right.
something.
The new
proprietary connection.
the plug. Right. Yeah. If you had if it's a USB one.
But yeah. So I mean that is a possibility.
For it to work.
Well, it's a
Not to
possibility
buy.
for it to work, but watching
Not to like,
well, no, not necessarily to buy it, but for it to actually play it. Because looking at those Finding the Funkins key, or I guess I forget what they're called, but the arrow list, you can move your finger a centimeter much faster than you can move your foot. 2
course.
inches.
Yeah.
Of
So
course. It's made
there
for
are
your fingers. It's not made for you to actually get out there and dance to.
Mm-hmm.
right, so it would be very difficult to get some of those harder ones, if not near, probably impossible for some of them to get
Mhm.
those
Yeah.
repetitive beats.
I mean, unless you're like tiptoeing on both of them at once, just like, "Ee."
I mean, there
More
are
or less,
people
yeah.
who have like done DDR in the arcades using both player slots and doing like some really ridiculous things.
Yep.
Like, it's not like it's not possible.
Yes,
It's
yeah.
just gonna be
Shoot, one of the
comparatively
newer
probably a bit more difficult.
DDR like arcade games is it's a big LED board that you're standing on, and the note highway coming down on the screen in front of you is just telling you where on the board to stand, basically. And
Yeah.
you've got to do that. Like, it's not telling you up arrow, left arrow, right arrow. It's basically saying, okay, it's on this side of the screen, it's on this side of the screen, and you're kind of matching all the footsteps. I forget what that game is called, but it's basically DDR with a notch up. But what about the Rock Band experience, the experience of actually playing an instrument
I found
for a video
I found that really
game?
fun because I actually do play or have guitar. Haven't touched it since like last year, but I have played guitar and it was different comparatively speaking to that. But in the rhythm game sense, it was
Oh,
different
yeah.
because like instead of the typical 4 buttons, it's 5. And instead of using 2 hands, I'm using one
Uh-huh.
hand for the notes, and then having to use my other hand to actually be
Right.
able to make those notes register, essentially.
Yeah, so it's definitely different. It was probably a little harder
Honestly,
to get used to.
I was for a second I thought you were gonna say like harder gameplay wise. No, but
No, just to get used to now.
I could see how the game would be very difficult with some of the harder songs. Because like with
Right.
comparatively speaking, Friday Night Funkin', you have to be a little more precise with your hits. But with rock band, you can set your hands.
Yeah.
You can preset your hands before having to hit the note. So it is a little easier to.
Yeah, on some of them. Yeah, once it gets to some of the harder songs, you
It's
don't really
like-
have that few seconds or
Yeah, so you gotta,
milliseconds
like,
to prep.
kinda-
But yeah,
in a sense, kind of gotta like know the timing, and it'd also be nice to actually have it
Yep.
so when you hit the button, it's not like late on the screen. That is, yeah.
yeah. You're talking about the strum.
I thought it was something I experienced, but that was just kind of something like
So
yeah. That's rhythm games in general. You kind of
Different.
need to have that music right on the.
so let's go over to Genevieve to see what she thinks, because this is coming from now. Genevieve doesn't play Friday Night Funkin', but she is a dancer, and she's very musically inclined, and I'd like to hear her thoughts on playing Rock Band for the first time.
I loved it.
You loved it.
Yeah,
Well, like what about it
everything.
did you love? Every
It just like out of like the probably like hundreds and hundreds of songs. Even though if I only knew 20, it's okay. It's okay. I love all of it.
I was telling her how much me, Eric, and Des had played this when we were basically in college.
Yep.
And she, Genevieve was like, yeah, I get it. Until she saw all the songs that we downloaded, that we bought with our money.
Basically just bought like an album worth.
Like, gosh.
It was
probably like
more than an album.
Playable album.
Like 30 albums.
They still release Rock Band songs?
I heard actually they were ending that soon or something like that.
They are slowly sunsetting the service because Epic owns Harmonix now.
Right.
But right now they are still, as of this year, releasing Rock Band songs for Rock Band 4.
It's Rock Band 4, right?
Rock Band 5.
Well, so that's what my next question was, is that if there was someone, Harmonix, Epic, whoever, to come out with a game like Rock Band and bring out a new game with a bunch of songs and these same, devices, the guitars, the drums and whatnot, is that something that you guys would be interested?
Yes.
Like interested to play? Yeah. See, there you go. That's that. Like, I hear and I get a lot of like when I talk about it. There's so many people our age, Ed, that like make fun of this thing, and it's like it was so stupid, and these peripherals are so dumb, and nobody likes it. They just like the nostalgia of it. Yet you go to a younger group, and this is a very small sample size, but it's Kegan and Genevieve both are on board. Like they both want this. They're both craving to get this.
Oh yeah. So,
and it's
so here. Yeah. When those games came out, to buy the whole kit, it was a little bit over $200.
Yeah.
So that's game with all the equipment and everything too.
I think was it only one guitar though?
One guitar.
One guitar, a game, and it was. Did it have the mic?
It had a mic and it had the drums.
Oh. Mic and the drums. So you had to buy an extra guitar.
Right. Basically, I think they called it the band in the box.
That's okay. Yeah, and then it was the extra guitar was what, $60?
Yeah, it sounds right.
But yeah, so a little over $200 plus another $60 for the guitar. That's not bad.
No, considering if you were to take into account inflation, that's probably like a good $500 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it basically was the price of a console.
Yeah.
But you kind of got, I mean, it's a testament to how those things were made though, because that drums kit was still working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it's been beat on by a lot of people.
It's been beat on by a certain little boy multiple times when he was very, very young.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of like how Maris was doing
like
it,
Dad.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me.
Really?
Yeah, see, me and Uncle Ed were both very much like, when we first got it, we would tell people, yeah, okay, it's the drums, but it's not like a real drum, so don't hit it too hard. Like, we were very conscious about not breaking it.
Right. Well, I mean, we spent $200+ on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to end up having to. Yeah, right. I don't want to buy a replacement.
Yeah. I mean, they survived about maybe like 4 hours of me and Uncle Ed and Maris.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we were playing for a very long time.
Yeah, like at Grandma and Pop Pop's. When I like a game, when I play it for like 4 hours straight and play it until like 1 a.m. with Uncle Ed.
It was very late.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and so that's the thing. It's like, I wish there was more of a not consensus, but more of a voice for for your kids as young you are into the corporate world? Because like what they're hearing are reviewers and people from our age who I feel are very jaded to these types of things. And it's like, we liked them as kids. Most likely, kids nowadays will also like them.
Well, I think a lot of the issues also came about that stores had to carry these physical pieces of equipment in these giant boxes, and for as popular as the games were, they didn't sell all that well because they ended up overproducing a lot of the equipment.
Right.
So you'd have like Best Buy with aisles just dedicated to the big boxes, and they would just sit there.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, in my mind, that's what Best Buy and Walmart are for. You're there to hold stock.
Right. Well, if you go by their in their eyes, they're there to hold that stock to get rid of it. They only want it up there for a week or two. They want it out of their store so they can make their money back on it.
Right. I get that, but they're big corporations, so I don't care that much about that.
I don't either.
At the end of the day, you make trillions of dollars. Holding these, $400, couple $1,000, things of items for a while, not going to hurt you. It really isn't. It's just not going to give you more money. You may continue at the same amount of money. You just won't get more money.
Now, I will say, not off topic, but a little off topic. It was somewhat easy, but at the same time, somewhat frustrating to get a Xbox 360 connected to my modern Xbox account to be able to go download those legacy songs, because you can't just go and buy new songs for Rock Band 1 anymore. So you have to go to your download history, find all the songs, and then download them that way.
Also, while we were setting this up, we broke a TV.
Yeah.
that was
granted, that was an old projection TV, rear projection TV that I don't think had been turned on in 10 years, maybe.
It'd been a while.
We
used to, when we lived at home with mom and dad, we played all our games in the basement. And, ever since we've been out, that basement hasn't gotten much use over the years.
I think Dad used P90X on it a little bit, watched videos, yeah.
But the TV that he had down there was from a neighbor that they moved, and they couldn't really take this giant projection TV with him. So he took it, and that thing's been sitting down there for years. We got it to play one good evening of Rock Band, and then the following morning, Genevieve wants to play, so I'm going to go turn it on, and nothing. it had clicked over and just didn't want to actually turn on. Like, well, now I got to go get the flat screen from upstairs.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, and then we tried to bring everything upstairs to the living room TV. Come to find out that Dad's TV doesn't have component or composite connections in the back. So we had to use his receiver, because it has component connections. But it turns out the receiver does not allow component through HDMI.
Yeah.
So we had to take it back downstairs.
Really? Is that why
Yes.
you were? I didn't know that.
Yep. So brought it back downstairs. The older, what's the brand? I forget off the top of my head, but it's like a cheap brand TV that has a Roku built into it. That one had component connections in the back. I'm sorry, composite connections in the back. So
TCL.
Yeah, TCL. It was a TCL.
Yeah.
That one has composite in the back. So, we were able to play.
Yep. Yes, Jenny, that is the same company TV
Wait.
you have.
I think it's the
TCL.
same TV.
It might be the same TV, just smaller. Because the one that you have is like more of a monitor size. I mean, it's a TV, but it's like the size of a monitor. I think it's like a 25
I mean,
inch.
it's a little bigger than a regular monitor screen, but yeah.
I think it's like a 25 inch or 26. Might be a 26.
I don't know.
But
Maybe 30?
But nah, I don't think it's 30.
You sure?
But yeah, that was a 50. I think it's a 50. It was a 50-inch projection TV, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was Sony.
It's something
That was
like that.
downstairs?
That thing is huge. It is heavy.
Don't know how you got it downstairs.
Yeah.
I don't know how Pop got it downstairs. I don't know.
Me and
what
Pop
he's-
Up got it. Me, Pop Up, and the neighbor, I believe, got it downstairs. I remember being at the top, and they were at the bottom.
Well, he's gonna have to take that thing apart to get
Yeah, it
upstairs.
ain't coming up the stairs. Not in one piece.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that was, like I said, it always, when I heard that those statements on like the games, it always irked me a little bit because it's like I know that kids would probably be really into these kinds of games, especially if you like dance or musicality in any way. Just makes you feel fun. That makes you feel good. It's fun
Mm-hmm.
playing them.
Yeah.
So, thank you for joining us today. If you haven't yet, subscribe to dotEXE podcast. Did you guys enjoy today's discussion? Please let us know. Send us your comments, questions, topics, and corrections to .exe@savingcontent.com, or you can leave a comment to @savingcontent on Twitter and Facebook. We are also, as in Saving Content, on YouTube, so subscribe for video previews, reviews, trailers, and original content like this here podcast. Are you looking for my gaming discussions? Well, check out Saving Content's Quick Save podcast with Scott and Evan. They will get back to it. They've just, hiatus. Having kids is not the most time conducive thing.
Sensitive.
A sensitive thing, right? Yeah, kids don't
can
work
say
on
that.
your time. You work on kids' time. Trust
I
me.
did.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can say that because
I
I'm
am
his
the
kid.
child.
Yeah.
I am
Wow.
annoyance.
You're one of the three. Yes.
I mean, at least Keegan's not the worst.
That's true.
Well, each kid has their pros and cons.
He has I have this list in the back room
Yep,
that you
there's-
can't
there's-
see.
there's
There's
good-
pros and cons for everybody.
Oh yeah, you didn't know? Yeah, I have a dry erase board. Everything just written out of all the pros and cons. Currently, the cons are pretty long for most of you, but it's okay. But remember to also visit savingcontent.com for the latest news and reviews. Ed, what do we got?
Let me just start out by saying these two's pro list on my side is very long. What we've got, our latest since the last time that we were making a show. Scott has some reviews with High on Life. He's got Marvel's Midnight Suns, Lone Ruin. I'm not familiar with that one, but he did that one also. And Vengeful Guardian Moonrider. Evan's got a few out there with The Return to Monkey Island and Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. And then I most recently reviewed Need for Speed Unbound. We have some things in the works with some, we'll call them just original gameplay. We just played Into the Flames.
Yeah, that was
me and Eric did.
gameplay.
That's going to be an
Turned
interesting
out
one. We did Animal Shelter Simulator. Actually, it's just called Animal Shelter because I think there's a iOS game that says Animal Shelter Simulator. Totally different game. So I think this one's just called Animal Shelter.
Animal
But all the
Shelter.
graphics that they put up say Simulator. We also did. Oh shoot! What were the other
Party.
two? Yes, right. Like Party Hard or Party Maker. That's what Party Maker.
Party Maker. That's
It's
what it was.
basically a party planner simulator.
And Electrician Simulator.
And
right?
electrician simulator. Right, yes. Because we got a great business name in Electrician Simulator.
Oh.
Yes.
And I can't wait. We should just tell them right now because I'm so excited for them to know what it is.
Good luck if I could remember it. Do you remember what it was?
The name of the business is What's Happening.
That's what it was.
Watts, WATTS, Ampinin, AMP.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is there's a there's an app called WhatsApp.
Yeah. It's close to that. See, it's a play on a few things.
Oh gosh.
But
So-
yeah, we got those coming up, so be on the
Yep.
lookout.
Before we go, we only ask one tiny favor, a simple 5-star review. You can do it right in your podcast app. Finally, don't forget to tell your friends about us here on dotEXE. It'll help us grow, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for listening, and remember, the most wasted of days is one without laughter. Good night.